Right of the right is left, and vice versa. Podcast by Panos Sakelis. The title is entirely misleading. I only used it to make you read the rest, although it is entirely accurate. If, for example, you want to go left but you turn right, how do you fix it? You turn right again and then right once more, and so you walk to the left of your original position. It doesn't refer to political views, but only to a bug of humans. The last thing I want to do is talk about fascism, especially to the Greeks. Greeks are Democrats, as ancient Greek democracy, not the American political party, except the right fascists, the socialist fascists, the left fascists, the anarchy fascists, the royal fascists, and finally the family fascists. The rests are pure Democrats. But there is one more kind of fascists that I would like to point out with this article: the metaphysical fascists. Of course, the ones who manage those circles cleverly use another term, that of a zealot, the uneducated barefoot man who thought that God spoke to him in the Sahara Desert, and when he returned to civilization, he burned everyone who did not believe him. Here's a good example. He only respected what was written in the books. As far as the Library of Alexandria, they just thought it was cold inside and lit up the brazier to warm it up. It is of little importance that some enlightened Democrats decided to proclaim him as whatever. But let's not go into details, because I will be forced to use language I don't want to. I am absolutely sure that poor Saint Nectarios, who had a life of poverty and misery, didn't care about the possibility of future sanctification. Considering the atrocities done in his name, Jesus would probably choose a different planet for his birth. The esotericism society is oppressed by the zealots. Let me make it clear. I am not against the seekers of truth. Someone who studies, for example, the scripts of Alice Bailey is not a zealot. He is a splendid man. Zealot is the one who continually uses quotes he has simply memorized. The same applies to Masons, Rosicrucians, and all the metaphysical children and the ancient times lovers. The last ones fall into ecstasy as long as any script or quote has the name of an ancient scholar signed underneath. Try it, and you'll see I am right. Write any bullshit apothegm. Say that it comes from Blavatsky or Plato. Decorate it with a statue or a strange shape, preferably with many angles, and I guarantee you'll get a storm of likes. This is our problem, not only of us Greeks, but of all the people, the zealots, the followers without a mind of their own, and unfortunately without memory. What is hidden, though, behind such tactics? I think the purpose of this is the decline of thinkers. And I must state that, unfortunately, the leaders of nothing do a hell of a job. We hear less and less of clear voices without slogans and absurdities, and those who stand out are mocked without mercy. Society is structured in such a way that if we think outside the incumbents for even 1 second, we are getting vertigo. No one can survive nowadays without a car, a mobile phone, fancy clothes, etc. Literally. The bad thing is that he cannot survive with that either. Today we focus on diversity to avoid the essence. What ultimately occurs is a decline in life itself. It loses its value. It becomes a simple path from birth to death. To keep life's purpose from blossoming, zealots yell, its aim is clearly the exit door. This is what their weak minds understand. That is what they say. However, I am not interested in persuading the modern man of what life is. If he wishes, he may open his eyes or better of his mind and allow himself to listen to the creation. If he hears laments, the sooner he dies, the better it will be for him. If he listens to the creation's rhythm, he should focus on its various motifs and try to decipher them. Some that succeeded left us crumbs that show the way. If the new generations spent their time only blaming the older ones, too bad for them. They simply consume precious time in the distribution of responsibilities and let life pass them by. Are we, the older ones, to blame? So what? Does this provide a way out, or does it lead the newcomers to become worse than their parents? If they don't like something, they better change it. But unfortunately, they do not have the guts to do that either. They prefer to knock things down and then wait in the queue to get the bill for their actions. Personally, I am confident about one thing. No angel, devil, saint, or zealot from any political, religious, or metaphysical party can lead us to where we need to go. We are alone, and we must find our path by ourselves. This article is not a product of disappointment, just an observation that found its way to a piece of paper. In The Saviors of God, by Nikos Kazantzakis, it is written, "As soon as we are born, the struggle begins, the struggle to create, to compose, to turn matter into life. We are born at every moment. Because of this, many have cried out, the goal of ephemeral life is immortality." Inside the temporary living bodies, these two streams collide. First, the ascent towards composition, towards life, towards immortality. Second, the descent towards decomposition, towards the matter, towards death. It's your choice. My only suggestion is to shut your ears to the voices of the zealots. They work for death.